An uneasy quiet has settled over the streets of Haiti's capital. The Caribbean nation has been ravaged by escalating gang violence, but on Tuesday there were no reports of attacks on government buildings or police stations in Port-au-Prince. The relative calm follows Ariel Henry's announcement that he will resign as prime minister. The country's main cargo port has reportedly reopened, but the capital's airport remains closed, leaving Canadians in Haiti stranded. There are nearly 3,000 Canadians registered with Global Affairs Canada, but at this time, Canada is not planning assisted departures or repatriation flights. André François Giroux is Canada's ambassador to Haiti. He is in Port-au-Prince. Ambassador, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me again.
The streets of the capital were reportedly quieter on Tuesday with news that Ariel Henry would leave. What can you tell me about the situation there today?
It's just like yesterday. It's been fairly quiet, but very uncertain. So for all those reasons, we're still very much careful about, because we don't know what tomorrow would bring. But I would say it was a normal day in Port-au-Prince in the sense that there was very little major manifestations or gang fighting.
Okay, so there appears to be this lull in violence, but the airport still has not reopened, at least at this moment in time when we are speaking. What's your understanding of that situation? Do you think air travel might resume and maybe provide a pathway out for a lot of the Canadians that are stuck there?
As you pointed out, the commercial flights at the airport all have been canceled, and from our perspective, this is a major source of insecurity. It's never been the case before, and it's been 10 days. I wish I would know when the airport or the flights will start. We hear that the police is taking action to try to secure the airport for the long term, and that I think is very positive. The police over the last few days has been able to sort of regain some footprint on the various infrastructure. The port is functioning normally, and as I was describing, they are moving around the airport to try to make sure that it can be secured. So I think this is all very positive, but how much time, I don't know.
So the latest numbers we have, Ambassador, is that Global Affairs Canada says there's 2,924 Canadians registered with them who are in Haiti right now. Can you give us a sense of how many of these 2,900 or so people are maybe seeking Canada's assistance to try to get out of Haiti?
Well, what you have to keep in mind is that our travel advisory on Haiti has been for a long time, many months. Don't come unless you really have to. And if you do come, you have to come knowing that this sort of situation could well happen. Our travel advisory has also been, if you are in Haiti, we advise that you leave when you can. So as a result, I think the people who are here came with open eyes and really knew what to expect. And I can assure you that we are receiving calls about clarification of some of the policies and the security measures, but so far it's very manageable. And I think what I just discussed is the reason why we are not flooded with calls. It's because people came here or stayed here very well aware of the security risk.
Okay, so as I understand it, as of this point, Canada is not planning to assist with departures. Is that why? Because of the way you've just described the specific cohort of Canadians that are in Haiti and the circumstances under which they went there? Because some other countries are taking efforts to get their people out.
Well, we are planning for every eventuality, but we don't have any sort of firm decisions in any of these situations right now. And again, nobody has been sort of asking urgently. The situation has stabilized. I would say the main source of insecurity right now is the unknown. It's not knowing when the airport will resume its activities and what will happen in the coming days. But so far, situation has stabilized, yes.
Okay, I guess the other unknown is who's going to run the country when this is over, because we're expecting this transitional council to be formed and appointed in the wake of Prime Minister Henry's promise to step down the minute there's a succession plan. What is your understanding of the latest on this, on how quickly we can see that being formed, and whether or not this could be acceptable to the gangs that have caused so much of this instability in recent days?
Well, I don't think the activities that are taking place right now are done under the lens of whether this will be acceptable to the gangs or not. I think we need to keep that in mind. What we're seeing right now is the critical mass of stakeholders, whether they're political, business, civil society, coming together to form a what I would call a government of national unity, to really put in place a clear path towards election, so that Haiti can turn the corner and restore its constitutional order. So it's a great. I believe it's a great landmark when it comes from on the side of the political crisis that Haiti has been experiencing over the last 30 months. Obviously, it's a marriage of convenience. The 7 members of the presidential council will be appointed in the coming days. We have high confidence that this will happen. Then their first task will be to nominate a prime minister. That may take a few days of deliberation, as you can imagine. And once that's done, then the prime minister can set up his government or her government.
Mhm.
So, no certainty when it comes to timelines, but I do feel that there is a sense of urgency, because the alternative, as you alluded to, is gangs taking over the country, illegality, and I think everybody is mindful of that and very much working to prevent that from happening.
No, and I appreciate your point that this process shouldn't be sort of guided to appease criminal gangs, but we've seen what can happen when they don't like who is leading the country, right? So I mean, how do you assess the risk that they could ramp the violence back up if they don't like where this process goes?
The risk will be there regardless of what happens, because the gangs use the narrative of we need to rid the country of Ariel Henry as a convenience more than necessarily an
Mm,
ideology. The gang's business model is insecurity, is kidnapping, is drug trafficking. It's taking advantage of some of the key infrastructure to make money, and what we are seeing on the political side, very positive, but not positive from the gang perspective. So we do feel that and then the security crisis is been ongoing and will continue. And that's why we need to carry on with the work that Canada is doing when it comes to rebuild the national police, help it with its equipment, provide technical assistance and training, and also all the good work we do when it comes to coordinating the 30 or so international partners, so that we really target what's needed when it comes to equipment and training, and finally the multinational security mission.
right.
It is, I think, if anything, that the last few weeks have demonstrated that it is needed more than ever, and then we are very much continuing with our support for it, and making sure that others join in to make it happen.
So just as a final question, Ambassador, on that multinational security force that Kenya is supposed to lead, and it's been held up for a variety of reasons, is it your sense they just need to show up and backstop the Haitian police and kind of deter the gang violence, or might they have to actively defeat the gangs that have caused so much of this instability? How do you see them functioning when and if they should arrive?
Well, I think the first thing is probably give a chance for the police to catch its breath.
Mm,
It's gonna come very much as a support to the national police. It's been doing, in the circumstances, understaffed, under-equipped, tremendous work, and but we've identified years ago that it needed reinforcement. The multinational mission is going to come to support it directly. It's not meant to be a lasting solution. It's just meant to give a chance for the police to sort of rebuild itself.
right.
So again, gangs, we know they exist everywhere. They exist in every society, and the illusion of getting rid of them overnight is definitely not on anybody's radar here. But we do believe that it will provide enough security that some of the main infrastructure, the main roads, will be safe again, and that will already be a big step in the right direction.
André François Giroux, Canada's ambassador to Haiti, thank you for your time again today, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you.